This is a comprehensive history of YouTube.com, where we will be going through all of the major events, uploads and developments of the website's entire history month by month. This is a new series, so please like, subscribe and comment if I miss anything. We're starting right at the beginning, February 2005. The year is 2005. Chad Hurley, Steve Chen and Jord Kareem are all working at PayPal in San Jose, California. As photo sharing sites were exploding in popularity, the future founders noticed a small problem. There were endless ways to capture video, but no good way to share it. When the group of friends had a discussion about how hard it was to find the infamous Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction video during the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show, the billion-dollar idea started to form in their minds. So, on February 14th, 2005, Hurley registered the trademark, logo and domain of YouTube, not knowing he just registered a $500 billion company in years to come. The first concept was a dating website with the slogan, "Tune in, hook up," where users would post videos of themselves for others to view and decide if they wanted to hook up or not. You can see this on early versions of the website's homepage. There are options similar to many other dating websites. There were no comments or subscriptions. Sadly, there weren't many things archived from February to March, but here are the pages that we can still see using the Wayback Machine. The About Us page has a super simple layout stating that they are the first video sharing online community. This points to the help page, again very simple and pointing to their FAQ and contact us pages. First we'll look at the FAQ. This details basic rules regarding nudity and video size. Imagine that the biggest video file you could upload was 50 megabytes. This is how big the video you're watching is. The only acceptable file types were AVI, MOV and MPG. This stands for Moving Pictures Experts Group, and it's the legacy version of MP4. I also find it funny that they tell the users to spice up their videos by editing their content using Windows Movie Maker, a very basic and now discontinued video editing tool that was included in every version of Windows. Either that or Apple iMovie, which is still around today. Moving on, we have their Contact Us page, referencing their office in sunny Palo Alto, California, with features not that different from modern day Contact Us forms. Next, we have their sign up page, and just like their contact page, extremely basic, asking for general information from the user. But more interestingly, we have their terms of service, in sections like item 1 under prohibited materials, objectionable content. Here is the first reference to the type of content that would get you banned or in today's language, cancelled. You may not post information or materials that is unlawful, obscene, fraudulent, indecent, or that defames, abuses, harasses, or threatens others, or is hateful or racially, ethnically, or otherwise objectionable. Another clause that completely polarizes today's version of YouTube is advertising prohibition. You further agree not to use the site for any commercial purpose whatsoever. It's hard to believe that there was a clear rule against advertising in all forms on YouTube, a far cry from the jungle of unskippable ads and endless monetization we have to sift through today. And finally, we have their privacy policy, though long, it's very basic for data protection rules in 2005. That's it for what we can find directly from back then. The favourites, messages, videos, and My Profile tab are sadly lost to time unless anybody has any footage. As far as the dating website was concerned, this idea completely failed, but the video uploading technology was perfect for its time, which brings us onto our next part. April 23rd was the first day content was ever released onto YouTube. The first 4 channels were made. Everyone knows Jord, but there was also Tuna Fat, owned by another founder, Steve Chen, which is now suspended. There was also MW and Kaizen Amazing. As for the videos, in order of upload, we have me at the zoo.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts.
The following videos are less well known. There's My Snowboarding Skillz with a Z and Rolling Down a Hill, with the final videos uploaded on April 23rd. April 24th had the most amount of channels made. We had Chad, Elias, Samir, Mellycat, Booty Christ, now suspended, G-Pape, now suspended, Svotov, MWG1378, GP, Bert Hoovis, now deleted, Rohair, now suspended, This Vintage Girl, and Herlex. Unfortunately, we don't have the original archived channel pages from 2005. For example, the earliest version of Samir's channel is from 2010, which we are years away from. As for the videos uploaded, most of these videos were deleted by the uploader and some have never been recovered. First, there's Flambe Disaster. Next, we have some that would probably age restrict this video, so here are some censored versions. If you would like to see the uncensored versions of these videos and before anyone else, sub to the Patreon and your name will also be at the end. Here are some parts of Booty Christ Dance and German Dominator. The next two videos are fairly tame, seemingly random yet removed by the user. Boat Ride Tahoe at 60 miles an hour, and Badass Snowboarding. The next is Tribute by GP, the last still public video from the 24th. The last two videos are Booty Christ in pink underwear and Dr. J reincarnated, sadly lost to time. April 25th was a fairly slow day for uploads. There were 3 channels made, Nerd Tourist, Cab Mobile and Pool. For videos, there was only one by Nerd Tourist, Clearwire. April 26th had no new videos uploaded but 3 channels, 2 of which were deleted by the user. There was Rats, the only channel still active, Eric J Holder and Goat Farmer, both no longer accessible. Things started to pick back up on the 27th. Most of the videos uploaded today are gone, only 3 being recovered. We have the thumbnails but no re-uploads exist. There's Biking Up Kings Mountain, This Hand Dryer Displaces Flesh, Crushing My Camera and Why Was Steve Late? Seemingly about Steve Chen being late to work. For the videos that were recovered, first we have Elias working the thing. Then 2 uploads by Jord, taking off from San Jose, California, and Gulfstream V-Jet taking off from St. Paul, Minnesota. The 27th also had 2 new channels being made, Heather and Smazzo. On April 28th, only 1 of the 4 videos is still accessible. A story about Dre, another story about Dre, and making a $20 investment at Schwab, all lost. However, Premature Baldness by Paul still exists today. Luckily, all the channels created today are still accessible. We have The Dog, Steve, which is Stephen Chen's new account after being suspended, Kevin I Up, 500 Hats, and Artie Swiss. Taking a break from the content for a sec, here's some early messages exchanged uploaded by Kaizen Amazing. The first few are just Jord and Chad, but here is Bert Hoovis sliding in Kaizen's DMs. Another message from Paul, and a longer message from Chad asking for more girls to be invited to YouTube, yet already mentioning their turn away from making a dating website. And finally, we have Jord rejecting Kaizen's grabbing video because his parents go on the site. April 29th only saw 2 videos uploaded. First is Elias showing off his skills. Second is wait, you forgot to close the taxi door.
Short tip.
And now...
Oh!
There was, however, quite a few channels made on this date. There's Stefan, Jazzbuff, Lose, which got suspended, Gem vs Gem, Jimmy Conway, Hex is Soft, Jason Boone, and Hitafushi. April 30th is the last day of activity for YouTube in the month. There was 3 channels and 3 videos created for today. For the channels created, there's Jones for Carrie, Iluomo, and Fatbat69. All 4 videos uploaded are still either available or archived. First, there's 2 uploads by Jones for Carrie, Carrie rides a truck, and Carrie chokes the chicken. The final video uploaded on the 30th is Tiger Remixed, deleted but archived. And that is it for everything uploaded to YouTube up until the end of April 2005. In this series, we're going to zoom out a bit beyond YouTube. This is so we can get the general context of the internet landscape around the months that we're covering. For example,
and boom goes the dynamite.
Originated on March 22nd, and the infamous Bill O'Reilly hot mic incident happened on February 28th.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
Internet users at this time were talking to each other through MSN and MySpace, while sharing content on websites like Newgrounds, 4chan, the Something Awful forums, You're the Man Now Dog, and DeviantArt. Most, if not all of these sites exist today. The aesthetic of the internet in early 2005 was fantastic. It was full of over-the-top GIFs and glitter graphics littered across web pages, mostly built on Windows XP. It was obvious this was the period where humans were learning how to use the internet as a creative outlet. We're going to be briefly covering the aesthetic of the internet throughout the series. If you would like a video where I delve deeper into general internet history during the 2000s, leave a comment. Internet-wise, Newgrounds was king, with its most popular game in February 2005 being the Bill Cosby Fun Game.
Hi, this is Bill Cosby. This is nothing about getting killed.
A close second was Miniclip, a hub of flash games and other MMOs, predominantly RuneScape, a fierce competitor to the giant World of Warcraft, both having tens of thousands of players between February and April. In 2005, the console wars were in full swing, not between Nintendo and Sega, but Xbox and PlayStation. Between February and April, PlayStation had releases like Tekken 5, Devil May Cry 3, and God of War. With nothing too prominent from Xbox coming out in this period, Halo 2 was still the most played game, though coming out the year prior. Also, the first LEGO Star Wars game came out in March on both consoles. YouTube has just made its way onto the internet, not knowing how influential it would be to hundreds of millions of people. The first videos ever uploaded had now hit the web. A prime example, 20 years later, that the internet is an archive of modern human history. In these early years, things progressed slowly, but as you know, YouTube has had a wild history, and we will be covering it all. I want to give a short message at the end of this video for those invested in the series. But for everyone else, thank you for making it this far. Please subscribe and click the support links in the description to help further this series. Okay, now that we've got the more dedicated viewers remaining, I would like to make clear that this will probably be an ever-developing series in terms of the structure and what's included. I plan to have community pages made so people can help with the series, obviously credited and maybe down the line paid, but for now I would really appreciate a comment left on this video with any feedback you may have about this episode and how the series should progress. Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you next time.